Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20.
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. Able to push his way through. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Pettis hauling this in from Garoppolo. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now it's Breida, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson will swing into the hands of Metcalf. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Again on second and 10, it's Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Here's Wilson. He completes it to Julio Jones. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 18.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. The numbers for Julio in last week's effort. 3 catches. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Julio Jones. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have.
Oh, now Breida loses it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such. I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. A bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. On 2nd down, it's Carson. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keeps your son. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
On 2nd and 9. The backfield, that's complete.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. You're just going to pick up a holding call.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Coming coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
guy, what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. A good pickup there, 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Again, Wilson, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action. Now Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now a give to Breida. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The reception, good for 7. It's 3rd down. Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Tim Williams in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he shredded every one of them.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Here's Carson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
What? 280. 56, right there, 56. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Good job right there.
On second and 12, Wilson. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 38-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On first down, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Throwing on second and 3. Garoppolo. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. To throw again on second down. Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Penny, a first down carry. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a second and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
It's a gain of 4.
Wilson now to throw on third down. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's Carson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he gets it down to the 32.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run it with Carson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Myers connects on the PAT. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Breida. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Here we go.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
When the Grant Scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Passing, it's Dalton. And an alley to run. And into the end zone, a pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We've got a lopsided game here. Which I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They run it again with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it? And
this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Here we go. Ready? Mike 5-4.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. They run with Pumphrey. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the